The air in the living room felt heavy, almost suffocating, as if the walls themselves were holding their breath. You sat on the couch with Jungkook beside you, your hand moving quickly yet carefully, trying to stop the blood that wouldn't stop dripping from his nose. The sharp metallic smell of it mixed with the faint sting of antiseptic in the air. His lips were split, swollen, and a deep purple bruise was already blooming under his left eye from the force of Namjoon's punch. Every time you dabbed at his face with the cotton, he winced slightly, but his gaze never left you. Still, he wasn't looking at his injuries, or at Namjoon, or at Jaemin. He was looking at you, softly, genuinely, with a kind of love that made your chest ache. Even now, with blood staining his shirt and pain etched on his face, all he seemed to care about was the fact that you were here, tending to him, protecting him. Jimin's voice cut through the silence, his words laced with disbelief. Jaemin, so you're saying, he misunderstood our relation, and you two are pregnant together? You didn't answer. Your throat felt tight, and your heart was pounding so hard it was painful. Your eyes were fixed on Jungkook's injuries, but your anger was boiling under the surface. Every second you looked at his battered face, it only grew hotter. Finally, you lifted your head and turned to Namjoon, your glare sharp enough to pierce through him. Yin, why did you do this? Look at him. Look how badly you've hurt him. Namjoon let out a sigh, his 100th since walking in, dragging his hands over his face. His expression was a mixture of regret and stubborn frustration. Namjoon, I thought he was hurting you, Yin. I acted on instinct. He was holding your arm. You were pushing him away. What was I supposed to think? What would you want me to do when someone looks like they're trying to hurt you? You bit down on your lower lip hard, forcing yourself to stay calm as you pressed the antiseptic-soaked cotton against the split on Jungkook's lip. He didn't flinch this time, only watched you with those same unwavering eyes. Namjoon's voice came again, this time softer but edged with something like accusation. Namjoon, and tell me, Yin, you don't even know this man properly. You've never introduced him to us. You expect me to just trust him with you, to trust him with your safety, and now, on top of everything, you're telling us you're pregnant. Jungkook's chest tightened at the word. It should have hurt, all the accusations, the fight, the misunderstanding, but somehow it didn't, because now the truth was out in the open. The confusion that had been choking him was gone. He might have felt like a fool sitting here, but that didn't matter. All he could think was that this was his chance to make you his. No matter how hard he had to try, no matter how low he had to beg, there would be no shame in it, no regret, just you. Jungkook's voice was low, almost breaking, as if each word cost him something. Jungkook, I'm sorry. I'm not going to ask you to trust me right now. He briefly looked at your brothers and then back at you. But Yin, I love you. I've loved you since our college days. You froze for a second, feeling your heartbeat echo in your ears. His words were slow but firm, each one carrying years of unspoken feelings. His gaze locked onto yours, those dark brown eyes glistening under the dim light. He looked around the room for a second, aware that Jaemin and Namjoon were standing nearby, but then turned back to you, as if no one else mattered in that moment. Jungkook, I love you, Yin. Please forgive me. I should have asked you before. It's my fault, completely my fault. You sat still, torn between anger at him and anger at your brother for hurting him. The confession, right there in front of everyone, made your heart skip a beat, but you couldn't bring yourself to answer. Jaemin broke the silence, his voice calmer than before, carrying the weight of maturity. Jaemin, I'm not going to stand in your way. It's still hard to believe you're pregnant, but what's done is done. The only thing that matters now is you both taking responsibility and treating each other right. He didn't sound happy, but he didn't sound against it either. You glanced at him with eyes that carried both apology and gratitude. He gave you a short nod in return. Namjoon's voice came next, firm as always. Namjoon, and you're not taking her to your place. Jungkook, Yin stays here. With us, we'll take care of her during the pregnancy. You will stay here too. Jungkook didn't even hesitate. His answer came instantly. Jungkook, yes, as you say, I'll stay here and take care of her. The room fell into a heavy silence. Namjoon didn't apologize for hitting Jungkook, because in his mind, he was only protecting his sister. After a few moments, both Jaemin and Namjoon stepped out, leaving you and Jungkook alone. Jungkook reached forward, his hands warm and calloused, and gently took yours from your lap, placing them on his thighs as he scooted closer. His thumbs brushed over your knuckles before he lifted his hand to cup your cheeks. Jungkook, Yin, I never regretted that night, not for a second. The only thing I regret is not knowing the truth earlier. I thought you were in love with someone else, and I hated myself for ruining that. I carried that shame every day." His forehead touched yours, his breath warm against your skin. You could smell the faint trace of blood, the familiar scent of him, the closeness making your chest ache. His voice lowered, almost a whisper meant for only you. "Jungkook, but I could never regret it, because that night, I was with the woman I love. It was the most beautiful moment of my life, Yin, because it was with you." He slowly moved back, his palms still framing your face, and pressed a gentle kiss to your forehead, lingering there as if he didn't want to let go. A faint smile slowly formed on your lips as the memory of that day returned to you. You finally allowed yourself to feel good about it, really good. Without thinking much, you moved closer and wrapped your arms gently around his neck. "Yin, you should have asked Jungkook. Do you even know how much I cried every single day, thinking you regretted it, thinking you wanted to forget it? I couldn't even sleep at night." Your voice trembled as your chest pressed lightly against his. "And how am I supposed to tell you about my life when I barely know you? We barely know each other." The words hung in the air. Neither of you spoke for a moment, only the sound of your breathing and his faint heartbeat against your chest. Then his voice broke the silence. "Jungkook, I realized it, Yin." He buried his face into the side of your neck, his warm breath brushing against your skin as he whispered, "Do you forgive me?" Your eyebrows pulled together, your heart softening as you lifted a hand to pat his back gently. "Yin, of course I do, Jungkook, and on top of that, you're beaten up so badly by my brother for no reason. God, it must be hurting so much." You cupped his face, wanting to check his injuries, but instead of pain, you found a small, almost amused smile tugging at his lips. "Jungkook, no, it doesn't hurt." Your brows rose in disbelief, but before you could argue, another thought slipped into your mind. "Yin, do you really want to stay here? I mean, will you be able to?" His eyes softened. He reached up, brushing a loose strand of hair away from your forehead with his fingers, his touch lingering just a moment too long. "Jungkook, it's you, Yin. It's you. Wherever you are, I'll be there. I can't imagine it without you now ever." The words made your stomach twist in the most dangerous way, warmth spreading through your chest. And just as he said it, he leaned in, placing a soft kiss right beside your lips. Your breath caught, but you didn't pull away. His lips began to move, slowly closing the distance between yours, and just as your eyes fluttered shut, he stopped. You opened them again, confused, and saw him wiping the small smear of blood from the corner of his lips. "Jungkook, it's going to taste bad, sorry." Your heart pounded. You couldn't just sit there and let him back away like that, not after everything. Without thinking, you leaned forward. Before he could move or react, your lips were on his. There was nothing shy in the way you kissed him, your lips parting wider, your mouth taking his with a desperate urgency. His eyes went wide in surprise, your hands clutching the back of his neck as you leaned fully into him. A low sound escaped his throat, and his hands slid down to grip your waist firmly, steadying you because you were practically falling into him. Slowly, as if against his own will, his eyes fluttered shut. His lips moved against yours now, matching your hunger, kissing you back with the same passion, the same aching need. The kiss deepened, the faint, wet sounds of your mouths meeting filling the air between you. His grip on you tightened as your breath grew short. When you finally pulled back, your forehead resting against his, your voice trembled. "Yin, I love you too. Jungkook, I love you more." A tear slid from the corner of his eye before he could hide it. You reached up and gently wiped it away with your thumb just before it reached his jaw. And without a word, his lips found yours again, slower this time, deeper, as if he wanted to make sure you felt everything he couldn't say. It had been almost 3 months, and sometimes it still felt like you were living inside a dream. You had everything you'd ever wished for: peace, laughter, love. Jungkook was now living with you, Jimin, and Namjoon, and surprisingly, they were all getting along well. You knew exactly why. Jungkook's sweet, gentle, and caring nature had been winning them over day by day, just like it had once won you. This morning seemed no different, yet it was. From the moment you woke up, something about all 3 men felt suspicious. Their eyes lingered on you longer, their smiles seemed too knowing, and there were quiet exchanges you weren't meant to hear. You noticed it, but you didn't press for answers. You had work to do, and your schedule was packed. You were sitting on your usual stool, focusing on checking one of your patients. The faint ticking of the wall clock mixed with the hum of medical equipment, and you let yourself drown in the routine of your work. That was, until a few minutes ago, When Jimin had walked in, Yin, he said casually, though his eyes had a spark you couldn't quite read. There's something urgent. When you're done here, come straight to my cabin. He didn't explain. He didn't wait for you to ask questions. He just left. Now, as you wrapped up the checkup, you gave the patient a polite smile and a small bow of your head. Please continue the rest with them, you said softly, leaving the rest in the hands of the staff present. Then, without a sound, you stepped out of the room. Your thoughts started to turn over. What could it be? You wondered, your lips pressing into a thin line as you sighed quietly. The hallway was unusually quiet. The sound of your own footsteps felt louder than normal against the polished floor. As you walked toward Jimin's cabin, you noticed the air felt heavier to calm. No chatter from the staff, no phones ringing, not even the rustle of papers. It was unnerving. You swallowed hard, your hand curling into a small fist, before you raised it and knocked softly on his door. The sound seemed to echo in the silence. Click, the latch gave way, and you pushed the door open just enough to peek inside. Your eyes went wide, so wide they almost hurt. Jimin's cabin didn't look like an office anymore. The usual stacks of files, tidy desk, and clinical order were replaced by something that felt almost unreal. The space was bathed in a warm, golden glow from soft light strung across the walls. Fresh flowers, lilies, roses, were arranged in elegant vases on the table and lined neatly along the windowsill. A faint scent of jasmine filled the air, making it feel like you had stepped into another world entirely. Your heart skipped a beat, because your eyes landed on the very person standing in the middle of it all, the only person in the room besides you. Jungkook stood there, still and nervous, holding a massive bouquet of deep red roses in his arms. Yin, what's going on, Jungkook? Your voice was small and sure, your heart raced, and your hands twisted nervously on your sides. He bit his lip, his shoulders shifting slightly as he took a slow step toward you. The closer he came, the more you could see the tension in his forehead and the way his fingers gripped the stems like he was holding on to courage itself. He stopped just in front of you, extending the bouquet forward. Jungkook, actually, his voice cracked slightly. This isn't hard to say, but I'm not prepared. And he let out a short, nervous breath. I'm a little scared. He gave you a shy, awkward smile, one that made you want to smile back despite your nervousness. Something about it was so genuine, so vulnerable, that you felt your heart squeeze. You laughed quietly, a little breathless, but inside, you were already guessing what he was about to say. He took a deep breath, then looked directly into your eyes, and then, Jungkook, Yin, my love. Before you could even react, he sank down on one knee, looking up at you with eyes that were soft yet burning with hope. Jungkook, will you marry me? Will you let me be your husband? Will you let me call you my wife for the rest of our lives? Your whole body froze. Your eyes widened so much it felt like they would pop out. Your mouth opened to speak, but no sound came. You couldn't look at the ring he held out, or the flowers. You only looked at his eyes. They were so full of love, so true and honest. And then, your tears escaped. A sob rose from deep inside your chest, breaking the silence around you. Your shoulders shook as you tried to hold it in, but you couldn't. Yin, your voice caught in your throat, stuck like a stone. Without thinking, you bent forward and hugged him tightly. So tightly that Jungkook stumbled back a little. His hands came around you instantly, holding you close, and you felt the vibration of his chuckle against your cheek. Jungkook, I promise you, Yin, he murmured, his voice soft despite the emotion lacing it. I'll be the best husband, and the best father, you have my word. You shook your head against his chest, your hands trembling as you cupped his face, wiping away his tears. Yin, you don't have to promise me that, just be you, because you're already the most amazing person I know. I love you. I love you more than words can say, and yes, I will marry you. Suddenly, you heard quiet footsteps and soft whispers behind you. You pulled back a little and looked over your shoulder. Your brothers, your closest friends, the senior doctors you worked with, and some staff were all standing there, watching the moment. Their faces were bright with smiles and tears. Oh, this is so emotional, Sophie sniffled, wiping her tears. You two are so adorable, Jimin said with a grin. Come on, Dr. Kiro added impatiently. Make her wear the ring already before I lose my patience. You realized you were still on Jungkook's lap, your arms wrapped around him. He looked down at you, his smile warm. Then he stood, still holding you close in his arms. Jungkook, Yin, he asked softly, may I? You swallowed, your cheeks already burning under the attention of so many eyes. You hadn't realized this was a plan everyone knew about. With a shy nod, you extended your hand. Jungkook slid the ring, a 6-carat diamond that glittered brilliantly under the lights, onto your finger. Yin, oh my, it's beautiful, you whispered, eyes wide, unable to hold back your excitement. You threw your arms around him again, making the crowd erupt with laughter. Your ears burned hotter as you buried your face against his chest. Jungkook, this is the best day, Jungkook said loudly, still holding you tight. I'm giving all of you a party, because I've been officially accepted as her husband. The room exploded with cheers and applause. He bent down, pressing a kiss to your forehead. Jungkook, it's okay. No one's seeing your blushy face. It's just me. You smiled against him and whispered, Yin, I love you. It was one of those mornings where your body felt heavier than usual, slow, sleepy, and unbothered by the clock. You'd slept upstairs last night in the small guest room instead of your usual bed. It wasn't unusual for you. During this last stretch of pregnancy, you often wandered to different spots in the house depending on your mood. Sometimes the sunroom couch when you wanted the soft morning light, sometimes the armchair near the fireplace for warmth. No one complained, as long as you stayed away from places that were cold or drafty. Comfort was your only rule now, and everyone respected it. The carpet felt warm under your bare feet as you padded toward the staircase. The faint smell of butter melting in a pan floated up, mixing with the scent of fresh bread toasting and the earthy hint of brewed coffee. From below came the muffled hum of voices, your brother's, deeper tones, and Jungkook's softer, cheerful one. You didn't have to see them to know what was happening. They were cooking breakfast, together. You placed one hand lightly on the railing and began to step down, slow and careful. You were halfway down when a pair of dark, alert eyes spotted you from the kitchen doorway. Jungkook froze for half a second, then his expression transformed into a wide, warm grin. Jungkook, baby. The sudden affection in his voice made you stop mid-step. Then you remembered, you weren't supposed to be walking down the stairs alone. Everyone insisted on being with you whenever you used them, especially now, in the last month of your pregnancy. The worry wasn't about your strength but your balance. They didn't want even the smallest risk. You knew Jungkook wouldn't yell at you for it, but you still expected a little scolding. Instead, his grin softened into something more tender. Without another word, he came bounding toward you, taking the steps 2 at a time. Jungkook, you should have called me. Before you could protest, he had already slipped one arm securely behind your back and the other under your knees, scooping you up as if you weighed no more than a pillow. Your breath caught as your feet left the ground, your arms automatically circling his neck. Your almost 9-month belly was pressed lightly against him, his body moving as easily as if he'd carried you this way 1,000 times. Your head rested against his chest, where his steady heartbeat thudded in your ear. Jungkook, did you sleep well? You let your eyes close for a moment, nodding against his shoulder, your cheek brushing the soft fabric of his shirt. The kitchen grew louder as he stepped into it. Jaemin looked up from the stove, his hair slightly messy and a spatula in hand. Jaemin, oh, Sleeping Beauty is awake. Breakfast's almost done. You gave him a small, lazy nod but didn't lift your head from Jungkook's shoulder. Instead of putting you in your own chair, Jungkook sat down first, settling you comfortably on his lap, keeping one arm snug around your waist. Your body felt heavier than usual today. The final weeks of pregnancy always drained you faster, and you could feel every ounce of it in your bones. From the counter, Namjoon looked up from slicing apples and strawberries. Namjoon, let me cut her some fruit. Jungkook, yeah, he replied, not taking his eyes off you. His hand moved to your shoulders, his thumbs pressing in slow, comforting circles along the tense muscles there. He worked down to your upper back, careful but firm enough to ease the stiffness. Jungkook, you're not feeling nauseous, right? You shook your head, pressing your face closer into Jungkook's chest, seeking comfort, but then he froze slightly, his eyes widening as he felt a soft sniffle against his shirt. Jungkook, hey, are you crying? His voice shook just a little, and his hand instinctively moved to brush a stray strand of hair from your face. Baby, what happened? Before you could respond, he leaned down, pressing a soft, lingering kiss on your forehead. You tightened your hug, clutching him like if you let go even a little, the fear of your dream might return. Jaemin and Namjoon had quietly approached, their eyes soft with concern. Namjoon's hand moved slowly toward your hair, ready to soothe, but Jaemin spoke first, stepping forward. Jaemin, hey, Yin, are you okay? Please, tell us what happened. Jungkook's grip around you tightened slightly, his forehead rested against yours, his dark eyes glistening with worry. His voice softened but carried that unmistakable urgency of someone terrified for the one they love. Jungkook, does it hurt anywhere, Tell me, baby. I'm right here. I'll make it go away. You shook your head, your voice barely audible, trembling like a leaf in the wind. Yin, I had a bad dream. The words barely escaped your lips before Jungkook exhaled slowly through his nose, relief flooding his features. Jimin and Namjoon let out quiet sighs of relief, their shoulders relaxing ever so slightly. Jungkook, really? Tell me, baby. I want to know. He reached for a slice of apple that Namjoon had just cut and held it gently near your lips, an attempt to calm you down. You took the tiniest bite, almost like a squirrel nibbling, still trembling against his chest. Yin, it was a thief. He broke into our house, and he killed you all. And I tried to run, but I was kidnapped. It felt so real. The last words came out in shaky gasps, and tears slipped freely down your cheeks. You pressed your face further into his chest, sobbing quietly. Jungkook's expression softened instantly, his arms wrapped around you tighter, his body rocking gently as he whispered against your hair. Jungkook, oh, my baby. Shh, it's okay. I'm so sorry you had to see that, but it was just a dream. Just a dream. Look, we're all here. You're safe, you're with me, with us. He pressed slow, tender kisses against the crown of your head and moved his hands down your shoulders and back, circling slowly in gentle motions. Namjoon shook his head with a playful smirk, pointing toward his arm. Namjoon, you see this? He flexed his arm, pointing to his bicep with pride. You tilted your head up curiously. I didn't build this for nothing. He glanced over at Jimin, ready to include him in the playful display, and rolled up his sleeves, clearly expecting Jimin to match him. But when Jimin tried to flex, his arms stayed flat. There was barely a trace of muscle. Namjoon, where did it go? He squinted at his arm, searching for any sign of a bicep, but clearly, nothing appeared. Jimin's face scrunched in irritation, his eyebrows drawing together as he shot Namjoon a glare. Jimin, can't you see? It's right here. He puffed out his arm again, trying to form a proper muscle, but it remained stubbornly soft and flat. Jimin, look Yin. See, it's right here. A small soft chuckle escaped your lips. You shook your head, trying not to laugh too loudly, because honestly, there was nothing to see. Jungkook, watching you, finally let out a small sigh of relief, the tension in his shoulders easing as your laughter returned. His arms wrapped around you tighter, pulling you closer so he could admire it. Jungkook, look at that smile, so pretty. You bit your lip and pressed your face gently against his chest, letting your nose nuzzle the soft fabric of his t-shirt. He leaned in just slightly and tucked a few strands of your hair behind your ear, letting you snuggle into him comfortably. Jimin, noticing his own little embarrassment, tried to change the subject quickly. Jimin, all right, time for breakfast now. Namjoon, yeah, let me set the plates. Yin, come on, you need to eat properly. The kitchen hummed again with its soft, familiar rhythm. Plates clinked, toast popped from the toaster, and the sweet smell of fruits mixed with buttered bread. Jungkook gently guided a fork toward your lips, feeding you slowly, making sure you were comfortable and enjoying every bite. Your brothers kept moving around the kitchen, clearing plates, setting napkins, and occasionally teasing both of you. For the first time that morning, your heart felt light. The nightmare, the fear, the exhaustion, all of it melted into the warmth surrounding you. You smiled up at Jungkook, and he returned it with eyes full of love. The hospital corridor was chaos. Doctors and nurses moved in a blur, their hurried footsteps echoing off the walls. This wasn't a normal labor anymore. The air itself felt heavy, thick with urgency. Yin, Jungkook, it hurts. Your voice trembled, barely audible. Your body shook violently, each breath shallow and jagged. The pain in your abdomen was nothing like the textbook labor pains you had read about. It was relentless, sharp, and tearing, as if something deep inside was being ripped apart. Your legs trembled, your hands gripped the sheets, but it barely offered relief. Jungkook's arms tightened around you immediately, one hand cupping your face, the other gripping your hand so tightly it almost hurt. He pressed his forehead to yours, eyes wide and panicked, but full of desperate love. Jungkook, please baby, hold on to me, he whispered, voice cracking. You're my brave girl. You can do this. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. A nurse's hands pressed urgently against your abdomen, measuring, stabilizing. she's bleeding internally. The words punched the air out of the room. Somewhere, someone shouted for another doctor. A warm gush ran between your legs, and your stomach twisted in fear. The fetal monitor beside your bed began to scream, its beeps rapid and panicked. Your baby's heart rate was falling fast. Jungkook's face went pale, tears spilling freely down his cheeks. Jungkook, no, 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 oh God, do something. Please, please don't let anything happen to my wife. His voice broke. He held you tighter, rocking you slightly, whispering over and over to soothe both your fear and his own. I'm here, baby. I'm with you. Nothing's going to happen to you. It's okay. Everything is okay. Just hold on for me. You clung to him, sobbing uncontrollably. The door burst open. Jaemin rushed in, followed by another obstetrician. His face was pale, tight, as though he had seen something he shouldn't have. Namjoon came behind him, eyes scanning, jaw clenched, trying to stay composed. They didn't speak immediately. Then the doctor's voice cut through the room, calm but heavy. Placental abruption. We need to move now. Jungkook's heart plummeted. His stomach felt like it had been punched, a wave of nausea hitting him, his vision blurred, dizziness threatening to sweep him off his feet. He looked down at you. Your skin was pale, your lips trembling, your eyes beginning to lose focus. Jungkook, Yin, no, stay with me. His voice trembled, almost breaking. Please, stay with me. Nurses worked in a storm around you. 4 lines going in, blood transfusion bags being hung, an oxygen mask fitted over your mouth and nose. Namjoon leaned down, his voice trembling but firm. Namjoon, Yin, listen to me. Keep breathing, okay? They're gonna fix this. Just a little longer. Don't give up. Jimin's hands trembled as he fisted his hair, eyes glassy with fear. Jaemin, no, this can't happen. He paced for a second, then came back to your side, gently clutching your ankle. Please, stay with us. Yin, don't lose hope. Everything is going to be okay. Jungkook stayed locked on your eyes, refusing to let you drift even an inch from him. His hands framed your face, thumbs brushing your wet cheeks. Jungkook, don't close your eyes. Don't you dare leave me, Yin. You hear me? Not now. Not ever. The doctor's command echoed sharply through the room. We're prepping for surgery. Move her now. In an instant, the nurses wheeled your bed down the corridor. Jungkook jogged alongside, gripping your hand with all his strength, refusing to let go. His heart pounded violently in his chest. Jungkook, wait, let me in. My wife needs me. She needs me now. The nurse glanced at Jaemin and Namjoon, her voice firm but apologetic. Nurse, I'm really sorry. Doctor, but family members, even doctors, aren't allowed inside. No exceptions. Jungkook's eyes widened in disbelief, his body trembling as he shook his head. Violently, he stepped forward as if to block the door, but before he could protest further, the nurse gently but firmly closed it. Jungkook, no, how can they do this? I have to be with her. She's scared. She's really scared. How will she manage this alone? Tears ran down his face as he sank to his knees for a moment. She's in so much pain, and I can't even help her. Jaemin and Namjoon quickly moved closer, trying to support him, to calm him down. Namjoon, she'll be alright. Jungkook, nothing is going to happen. She's strong. She's going to be okay. Take deep breaths. Jungkook, I can't just wait. I can't. She's suffering, and I can't even touch her. I can't make it stop. For the next few minutes, the hallway was his prison. He paced back and forth, slapping his face to keep from fainting, trying to control his sobs. Every glance at the doors made his chest tighten. He wanted to run inside, to take your hand, to hold you through it all. His chest ached with every second, every heartbeat screaming for your safety. Jaemin and Namjoon watched him, worry etched into their faces. They were scared for her, yes, but seeing Jungkook like this, broken, panicked, unrelenting, they feared for him too. Then it happened. A sound so clear, so pure, it made their hearts jump. A baby's cry, sharp, loud, and alive. The sound froze everyone in place. Jungkook's body moved instantly. His hands shot to the doors, gripping the handles with trembling fingers, eyes wide with hope and fear. Jungkook, my wife, is she okay? The nurse emerged from the operating room, holding the baby delicately in her arms. Nurse, yes, your wife and your child are both okay. The baby is healthy and strong. Your wife needs rest right now, but after a few procedures, you can see her. A long, shaky sigh of relief escaped Jungkook as his gaze fell on his son, his chest tightened with awe, but his heart ached. He needed to see you, to make sure you were truly okay. He pressed a gentle kiss to the baby's soft forehead, feeling the warmth and tiny heartbeat under his lips, grounding himself for the moment ahead. Every step toward your bed was slow, almost reverent. His hands trembled, his stomach knotted, and his heart raced as he took in your pale, unconscious form lying there. The sight made him hold his breath, fear and love clashing violently in his chest. Jaimin, thank God she's all right. He leaned closer, pressing a tender kiss to your forehead, his lips lingering as though he could transfer his strength and love through the touch. Jungkook, I love you, Yin. I'm so proud of you, even while you remained unconscious. He pressed soft, grateful kisses across your cheeks, eyelids, and lips. His hands traced your face gently, memorizing every line, every curve. Jaimin glanced at Namjoon, who looked equally moved, his eyes soft. The baby in Jimin's arms seemed impossibly small, delicate, and perfect, a living piece of both of you. Namjoon, he's just like Yin. Jaimin nodded, tears slipping freely down his cheeks. Jaimin, look at his hands, the tiniest things ever. Jungkook's eyes softened as he looked towards his son, unable to tear his gaze away. Every tiny movement, every breath, made his chest swell with love and protectiveness. With gentle hands, Jaimin handed the baby over to him. He pressed a gentle kiss to the top of the baby's head, his fingers brushing through the fine, soft hair. Jungkook, you're so beautiful, just like your mama. I swear, I'll protect both of you, always. Nothing will ever hurt you. Not now, not ever. It was the third day after your delivery. Every nerve in your body, tense and aching for the past few days, had finally begun to relax. The warm glow of the late afternoon sun filtered gently through the hospital curtains, bathing the room in soft light. In just 2 more days, you would be able to leave and finally return home with your little family. You leaned comfortably against Jungkook, feeling his strong, steady presence at your side. His hands moved with slow, soothing motions through your hair, massaging and gently tugging at the tangles, helping you relax completely. Jungkook, you're not having any bad dreams, do you? You lifted your face to his, pouting your lips slightly, tilting them toward him for a kiss while shaking your head. He smiled softly, leaning down to brush his lips against yours, the warmth of his mouth making your heart flutter. Good. But even after that, you couldn't help but ask again, a little insecure. Yin, baby, do I look chubby? Jungkook chuckled, settling beside you on the bed. He pressed kisses to your cheeks, nudging his nose lightly against your skin as he spoke, his voice full of adoration and warmth. Jungkook, you look like a soft, fluffy doll, one I just want to squeeze forever. A small, delighted laugh escaped you, and you playfully slapped his chest. Jungkook, I'm not lying, he said, pouting before pressing a soft, lingering kiss to your lips again. The two of you whispered gently to one another, the soft intimacy of the moment unbroken by the activity in the other corner of the room. Namjoon and Jaimin were playing with your tiny baby boy, who wiggled and cooed in response. You frowned slightly as a small argument reached your ears, glancing at the scene with Jungkook. Namjoon, are you stupid? Jaimin, shut up, baby, say uncle. Your laughter bubbled out freely, and you leaned back against Jungkook, who stood and began braiding your hair, tucking stray strands gently behind your ear. The sensation of his fingers brushing your scalp made you shiver slightly, relaxing you even more. Yin, how is he supposed to say uncle? He's only 3 days old. Jimin's face flushed bright red, pure embarrassment shining through. Jaimin, yes, obviously, I know that, but I'm just preparing him. Namjoon shook his head, a soft smile on his lips, as he held the baby securely against his chest, supporting the tiny neck and head with care. Namjoon, come here, my good boy. He adjusted the baby's position, keeping him safe and snug against his chest. Jaimin, you never let me play with him. Namjoon, you only talk nonsense to him. Your laughter filled the room, warm and light, mixing with the soft coos and tiny gurgles of the baby. You suddenly clutched Jungkook's t-shirt, your small fingers gripping the soft fabric as a whisper escaped your lips. Yin, take me to the restroom. I wanna pee. His eyes softened instantly, concern and care flooding his gaze. He bent slightly, pressing a gentle, lingering kiss to your temple, brushing a loose strand of hair behind your ear. Jungkook, of course, baby, let's go. He moved carefully, helping your legs dangle over the side of the bed. Your body wobbled slightly, still tender and sore from the past few days, and he handled you so carefully it made your heart clench. Take it slow, don't rush. Before you could protest, He lifted you effortlessly into his arms, holding you close against his chest. You relaxed completely, letting yourself melt into him, comfortable. You nodded as a small smile curved your lips as you rested your head against his shoulder. Feeling his breath against your hair, he carried you towards the restroom. The gentle sway of his movements, combined with the faint scent of his cologne, made your chest relax. Jungkook, okay, tell me, my lady, what would you like for dinner tonight? He tried to distract you with his soft, teasing tone, knowing that the act of peeing could be uncomfortable right now. His warmth and attention made the tension ease, and you felt a flutter of happiness at his care. Yin, something tasty, like sushi. A soft chuckle rumbled from his chest as he tightened his hold ever so slightly, careful not to jostle you. Jungkook, all right, sushi it is, my lady. Only the best for you. He stepped up to the restroom door, moving slowly and carefully. With one gentle motion, he opened it and set you down softly, still keeping a hand lightly on your waist to steady you. He leaned close, brushing a strand of hair behind your ear once more, his voice soft and warm. Jungkook, I'll be right here the whole time, baby. Take your time. Don't rush. You nodded, your heart swelling with gratitude and love. The small space felt safe, cocooned in his care. He still kept talking to you, his soft words distracting and comforting you. And that's exactly what Jungkook needed, to be close to you, to care for you, every single time, no matter what.